warm holiday scents hides a surprising list of concerns. Despite claiming to use premium-grade paraffin, paraffin itself is the red flag when burned. It releases ultrafine soot particles that can travel deep into your lungs and linger in the air for hours. Several independent air quality tests found that popular Yankee scents like Clean Cotton, Autumn Wreath, and Balsam Cedar release measurable levels of formaldehyde, the same chemical used in industrial disinfectants. That slow, smoky haze you see rising from the wick isn't harmless ambience. It's a mix of irritants known to trigger headaches, coughing, and respiratory discomfort, especially in older adults. Another issue? Yankee was repeatedly criticized for lead core wick traces found in older batches before regulations tightened. While they deny using them today, multiple customers still complain about black soot coating ceilings and walls after just a few burns. And then there's the fragrance load Yankee is famous for. Powerful scents because the wax contains high amounts of synthetic aromatic oils, which many people report causing migraines and allergic reactions. Number 33. Glade. Glade candles look harmless. Colorful jars, cozy scents, and fresh home vibes. But light one, and you're releasing more than fragrance. Glade is one of the biggest offenders when it comes to synthetic fragrance chemicals, and its parent company, SC Johnson, has repeatedly come under fire for refusing to disclose what's inside these fragrance blends thoroughly. Independent lab tests have detected phthalates, compounds linked to hormone disruption, fertility problems, and respiratory irritation. And because Glade uses highly fragranced paraffin wax, burning the candle releases a mix of benzene, toluene, and ultrafine soot particles, the same type that accumulates in car exhaust. Many customers report immediate headaches, irritated eyes, sore throats, and tightness in the chest after burning popular scents like Hawaiian Breeze or Clean Linen. In 2020, several consumer watchdog groups criticized Glade for advertising nature-inspired scents while hiding dozens of synthetic chemicals under marketing language. Number 32. Airwick. Airwick is famous for room sprays and plug-ins, but their candles are some of the most heavily scented on the market. That powerful scent throw comes from aggressive levels of synthetic aromatic compounds, which evaporate and burn off into your home's air. The bigger problem? Airwick candles often contain benzyl, benzoate, lilial, limonene, and linalool, fragrant chemicals that become skin and lung irritants once they react with heat. European regulators classified lilial as a reproductive toxin before it was phased out in many EU products, yet older and imported batches have repeatedly tested positive. Airwick paraffin candles also release large amounts of soot, which sticks to soft surfaces like curtains, carpets, and lungs. Several consumers have reported dizziness, nausea, and chemical-smelling smoke after burning popular scents like Fresh Waters or vanilla and pink papaya. Number 31. Febreze candles. Febreze is marketed as the king of odor elimination, but its candles work by masking smells, not removing them using chemicals that can be worse than the odors they're supposed to cover. Their signature scent technology relies on acetaldehyde and aldehydic compounds, which become airborne irritants when heated. The paraffin wax blend Febreze uses is one of the most processed in the industry, creating dense soot that rises fast and lingers in the air. Consumers often report respiratory irritation, sore throats, and migraine-level headaches after burning scents like Gain Original or Fresh Cut Pine. And here's the twist most people don't know. Febreze candles often contain quaternary ammonium compounds, the same type used in disinfectants, not something you want to heat up and inhale in a closed room. These compounds have been linked to asthma flare-ups and long-term lung irritation. In 2021, Febreze faced viral online complaints about candles producing chemical smoke and causing coughing fits in pets and kids. Not the cozy evening anyone planned. Number 30. Mainstays. Mainstays candles look harmless, cheap, colorful jars that make you feel like you're getting a bargain. But what you're really getting is a candle made from some of the lowest grade paraffin wax used in mass manufacturing. Paraffin, in this impure form, burns dirty, releasing black soot, benzene, and toluene at much higher levels than premium candles. In 2019, shoppers flooded online reviews with complaints that Mainstays candles produced a diesel-like smoke, left black streaks on walls, and triggered coughing fits within minutes of burning. The wicks are often treated to extend burn time, causing hotter flames that release more soot and VOCs. Even worse, many scents contain undisclosed synthetic fragrance chemicals, known irritants for people with asthma, sinus issues, or migraines. Some candles even burn unevenly and pool into scorching hot liquid wax that splashes easily, a hidden safety hazard not many talk about. Number 29. Great Value Candles. Great Value is Walmart's bargain private label, but when it comes to candles, the value often comes at the expense of your lungs. These candles commonly use highly fragranced paraffin, which releases more pungent fumes and soot than typical paraffin blends. Laboratory tests and consumer watchdogs have criticized Great Value candles for containing phthalate-heavy scent oils known to interfere with hormones and trigger allergic reactions. Customers often report symptoms like throat tightness, watery eyes, and sinus pressure after burning seasonal scents like apple, cinnamon, or pumpkin spice. Another issue? Overheating jars. Several users have reported jar cracking, wax boiling, and candles burning all the way to the bottom, a significant fire hazard. And the soot produced by these candles is so dense that it can stain curtains, lampshades, and even HVAC filters. Number 28. Target Up and Up Candles. Target's Up and Up line tries to compete with budget brands, but their candles fall into the same problematic category: heavy synthetic fragrance plus low-grade wax. The aroma might feel clean and fresh when the candle is unlit, but once you burn it, that clean scent transforms into a cloud of VOCs, aldehydes, and microsoot particles. Multiple customers have reported chemical-smelling smoke, uneven burning, and candles tunneling badly, which causes the wick to overheat and release even more microscopic soot. People with allergies or breathing sensitivities often report immediate irritation. The biggest issue? Target's Up and Up fragrance blends are often labeled as fresh or odor eliminating, but in reality, they rely on potent synthetic masking agents similar to air fresheners, not natural oils. Heating those compounds transforms them into irritants that can linger long after the flame is out. Number 27. Threshold. Threshold candles look premium, minimalist jars, trendy seasonal scents, and clean branding. But beneath the aesthetic, the formula isn't as clean as the packaging suggests. These candles use paraffin soy blends, which means you're still burning a significant amount of paraffin, releasing soot and petrochemical fumes. The real problem is the heavy scent load. Threshold is known for powerful fragrance oils, and that strength often comes from aldehydes, artificial musks, and petroleum-based aromatic compounds. When heated, these compounds can irritate the lungs, trigger migraines, and worsen asthma symptoms. In 2021, customers complained about Threshold candles producing thick black smoke, overheating, and burning unevenly, all signs of unstable wax composition. Some jars have even been reported to shatter due to temperature spikes, a serious safety risk. Number 26. Better Homes and Gardens Candles. Better Homes and Gardens candles look classy. Matte jars, farmhouse labels, cozy fragrance names like Warm Rustic Woods and Cranberry Mandarin. But that sophisticated look hides something most people never suspect. These candles are known for burning hotter than average, which causes the paraffin soy blend to release elevated levels of soot and VOCs. Many scents in this line rely on complex synthetic fragrance cocktails containing compounds like limonene, benzyl salicylate, hexyl cinnamol, and other allergenic ingredients that aren't harmless once heated. When burned, they can oxidize and produce irritants linked to headaches, dizziness, coughing, and sinus inflammation. Between 2020 and 2023, hundreds of customer reviews surfaced reporting jar overheating, wax bubbling, and candles burning all the way down to the metal base. Some users even shared photos of cracked or shattered jars, a dangerous sign of unstable wax temperature. Another concern? Better Homes and Gardens uses heavily dyed wax in many scents. Those dyes break down under high heat and release extra soot, the kind that clings to walls, curtains, and your airways. Number 25. Home Scents. Home Scents by Dollar Tree may be the cheapest candles on this entire list, but the low price comes with high risks. These candles are often made with unfiltered paraffin wax, sourced from the lowest cost suppliers. When burned, this grade of paraffin produces thick, dark soot, sometimes visible within minutes. The biggest issue? Unknown ingredients. Dollar store brands are notorious for using generic, unregulated fragrance mixtures imported in bulk. That means the candles can contain phthalates, unlisted aldehydes, and even trace solvents with zero transparency. The artificial scents often smell sharp, chemical-heavy, and overpowering, especially in small rooms. Many users report an immediate burning sensation in the throat, watery eyes, and coughing after lighting home scents candles. And because the wicks are usually cotton core or mixed metal blends, they burn unevenly, mushroom quickly, and release more soot than standard candles. Dollar Tree has also received complaints about candles that burn straight down the middle, overheating the base, and creating a fire hazard. Some even extinguish themselves in a pool of soupy hot wax, indicating unstable production quality. It's tempting because it's only $1.25, but these candles can fill your home with fumes you'd never willingly inhale if you knew what was actually inside. Number 24. Greenbrier Candles. Greenbrier is Dollar Tree's in-house brand, the kind you toss in your cart thinking, why not? It's cheap. But what you're really buying is one of the lowest quality paraffin candles on the market. These candles are mass-produced with unrefined petroleum wax, which burns irregularly and releases heavy soot clouds even with short burn times. The fragrance oils used in Greenbrier candles are often import-grade synthetics, containing compounds like lilial, butylated musk, and unlisted aldehydes. These chemicals don't just irritate sensitive people. They can cause coughing, chest tightness, and migraines even in those with no previous fragrance sensitivities. Thousands of online reviews and Reddit threads have complained about chemical-smelling smoke, candles burning with loud crackling noises, and wicks mushrooming aggressively, all signs of poor manufacturing quality. The jars are also notoriously thin. Multiple users have reported jars cracking or exploding from heat stress, something scarce in regulated candle brands. And because the wax burns unevenly and tunnels fast, the wick overheats and releases volatile organic compounds far beyond what a small candle should produce. That cheap candle smell people joke about? It's actually airborne toxins mixing with soot. Number 23. Our Own Candle Company. Our Own Candle Company looks charming, rustic mason jars, cute labels, and warm country scents like banana nut bread or grandma's kitchen. But that cozy farmhouse vibe hides a formula that's been repeatedly criticized by sensitive customers and air quality testers. These candles use a paraffin-heavy proprietary blend designed to hold extreme fragrance loads. That means the wax is saturated with high-concentration synthetic fragrance chemicals, some of which are known irritants when burned. This strength leads to reports of pounding headaches, sinus pressure, and chest tightness, even after a short burn time. The brand is also notorious for wick issues. Many jars develop mushrooming, oversized flames, and uneven pooling, a combination that produces dense black soot. Several users have shared photos of walls, lampshades, and ceilings stained after burning their larger mason jar candles. And then there's the burn temperature. The jars heat up unusually fast, causing the wax to thin out and the candle to burn hotter than intended. Overheated wax produces more soot, more fumes, and more irritants filling your home. Number 22. Candlelight. Candlelight feels like a trustworthy old-school brand, with familiar jars, comforting scents, and decades of store presence. But what most shoppers don't realize is that Candlelight has been repeatedly criticized for using highly refined paraffin loaded with synthetic fragrance oils. Paraffin itself is problematic, but in Candlelight's case, the purity standards are inconsistent, leading to irregular burn temperatures and noticeably heavy soot. Many users report that Candlelight candles create a gray haze that clings to walls and ceilings, particularly with stronger scents like vanilla, fresh lavender breeze, and apple cinnamon crisp. Independent air testing found these candles release significant amounts of benzene, toluene, and ultrafine particles, the type that stay suspended in indoor air long after the flame goes out. Another recurring problem? Wick instability. Candlelight wicks are known to mushroom aggressively, producing smoky flames and a sharp chemical-like odor. In multiple consumer reports, jars became excessively hot, and some even described a burning glue smell, likely from overheated fragrance binders. Number 21. Chesapeake Bay. Chesapeake Bay's marketing leans heavily on calm, spa-like vibes, mindfulness, balance, and tranquility. But those clean, peaceful labels can be misleading if you're buying from their paraffin-based line rather than their soy blend collection. The paraffin version burns with a surprising amount of invisible soot, the kind that doesn't leave visible stains but lingers deep in the air. These candles use perfume-grade synthetic oils to create their signature aromatherapy scents like Serenity Calm or Balance Harmony. Ironically, many essential oil-inspired fragrances contain allergenic compounds like citronello and hydroxycitronello, which become respiratory irritants when heated. Customers with asthma and allergies frequently report a tight chest, runny nose, coughing, and perfume overload after burning Chesapeake Bay paraffin candles. And because the jars are slightly narrower than typical tumblers, heat builds up faster, causing the wax to liquefy unevenly and burn hotter, which means more VOCs are released per hour. Number 20. Sonoma candles. Sonoma candles have that appealing department store aesthetic. Big jars, seasonal scents, pretty labels, and frequent sales. But the reality behind the jar is far less glamorous. Sonoma uses a paraffin-dominant wax blend with heavy synthetic scents that give the candles their strong throw, and that strength often comes at the cost of clean air. One of the biggest complaints is inconsistent burning. Sonoma candles often tunnel, causing the wick to overwork, creating a hotter flame and pumping out dense microsoot. Customers frequently describe a chemical edge to the scent, once lit, as a sign that the fragrance oil is breaking down under heat. There have also been multiple reports of wick movement, where the wick drifts to one side as the candle burns, causing the jar to overheat and the wax to scorch. A scorched paraffin blend releases more toxins, including possible trace amounts of formaldehyde-releasing compounds, depending on the fragrance formulation. Some customers say Sonoma candles give off a sharper, throat-itching smoke, especially with bakery or seasonal scents like vanilla bean, pumpkin spice, and frosted pine. The jars are large, too, so burning them for hours compounds the exposure. Number 19. DW Home Candles. DW Home Candles look premium, with heavy jars, elegant labels, and boutique-style scents that make you believe you're buying something clean. But once you light one, the truth hits the air fast. DW Home is known for using extreme synthetic fragrance loads, and when these concentrated oils burn, they release far more volatile organic compounds than typical candles. A 2019 indoor air quality analysis found that synthetic fragrance oils can emit over 100 VOCs, including limonene, a compound that transforms into formaldehyde after reacting with indoor ozone. That's bad news when your candle is burning for hours in a closed room. Customers frequently report heavy soot, burning eyes, chest tightness, and headaches from scents like gardenia, warm tobacco pipe, and ocean breeze. The candles also burn hot due to their thick wicks, accelerating the breakdown of fragrance oils and increasing soot and irritant release. Number 18. Huntington Home. Huntington Home candles look stylish and affordable, with neutral labels, trendy scents, and a price tag that makes them tempting. But their formula tells a different story. These candles use inexpensive paraffin blends paired with potent synthetic fragrance oils designed to deliver a strong scent throw, not clean combustion. Environmental studies show that burning paraffin releases benzene and toluene, both classified as carcinogenic by global health organizations. Huntington Home candles also tend to tunnel badly, causing the wick to overheat and release high levels of microsoot fine particles that linger in indoor air long after the flame is gone. Popular scents like vanilla snow, garden rain, and frosted balsam consistently receive complaints of headaches, sinus pressure, and irritated eyes. This is because many of their fragrance oils contain allergens, such as hydroxycitronello and lilial derivatives compounds, identified by toxicology reviews as respiratory sensitizers. A 2018 materials safety study also found that overheated paraffin blends can emit up to 3 times more VOCs, which is precisely what happens when a candle burns unevenly. Number 17. Ashland Candles. Ashland candles may look like a crafter's dream, decorative jars, seasonal designs, and cozy labels, but their burn quality tells another story. These candles rely on high fragrance paraffin blends, which release irritating chemicals once heated. Many Ashland fragrances contain aromatic solvents that convert into aldehydes during combustion. A 2020 environmental toxicology review found that aldehydes released from heavily scented paraffin candles can cause eye irritation, migraines, wheezing, and respiratory discomfort. Ashland candles are also notorious for tunneling, which causes the wick to tilt or flare. A flaring wick burns at a higher temperature, producing dense soot capable of reaching deep into lung tissue. Customers frequently mention a sharp chemical odor appearing halfway through the burn, a sign of fragrance binders chemically breaking down. Number 16. Aroma Essence. Aroma Essence candles look budget-friendly and clean. With bright labels, strong scents, and that grab-and-go appeal Dollar General is known for. But what most shoppers don't realize is that these candles often rely on low-grade paraffin mixed with heavily diluted synthetic fragrance oils, a combination that burns hotter and dirtier than it should. Once lit, Aroma Essence candles can release a surprising level of soot particles, small enough to enter the lungs, something indoor air quality studies warn about. These fine particles aren't visible like the black soot from expensive candles. They're invisible, which makes them even more dangerous because they accumulate quietly in closed spaces. Their fragrance oils break down quickly when heated, releasing aldehydes, irritants, and scent-modifying chemicals commonly associated with headaches, dizziness, throat dryness, and coughing. Users have also reported an odd chemical plastic smell after the halfway point, a sign that the fragrance binders and wax stabilizers are degrading under heat. Because these candles burn inconsistently, the flame frequently flares or sputters, pushing hotter combustion and more VOC release. Cheap on the shelf, but costly to your indoor air once the wick is lit. Number 15. Simply Done Candles. Simply Done candles sold in many regional grocery chains give off that everyday home essential vibe. Affordable, versatile, and stocked in familiar scents like Linen Fresh, Warm Vanilla, or Apple Orchard. But behind the friendly branding is a candle formula built for cost efficiency, not clean performance. These candles typically use dense paraffin slabs infused with mass-produced fragrance solvents, which don't fully combust. That means the candle releases partially burned fragrance particles, a known trigger for migraines and sinus irritation. Environmental health studies on fragrance consumer products confirm that these particles can contain up to 20 to 40 secondary pollutants once heated. Another problem is the flame stability. Simply Done candles are known for wicks that burn too aggressively, creating sudden flame spikes that heat the wax unevenly. When paraffin overheats, it emits greater quantities of toluene and benzene, two chemicals environmental agencies warn against for indoor breathing. Customers often report a faint chemical smoke after burning these candles, a sign that the wax and fragrance blend is combusting at temperatures it wasn't designed for. The candle looks simple, but the chemistry behind it can turn complicated fast. Number 14. Living Colors Candles. Living Colors candles are a favorite at stores like Big Lots because of their giant jars, bright colors, and cheap price, but they are also one of the most commonly criticized budget candles for soot output and overpowering synthetic scents. These candles use highly pigmented paraffin wax, and candle dye studies show that heavy dyes produce more soot and release pigment particles once the wax reaches high burn temperatures. This becomes especially problematic with Living Colors' large, wide jars, which trap heat and accelerate wax breakdown. The scent oils used in Living Colors candles tend to be perfume-style mixtures, containing compounds such as synthetic musks, benzyl alcohol derivatives, and aromatic boosters. When burned, these compounds can generate secondary VOCs associated with headaches, nausea, and irritated sinuses. Many users describe a thick perfume fog that lingers long after the flame is gone, a sign of high VOC retention. The wicks also tend to mushroom, creating smoky flames and uneven burning that amplify soot release. Over time, this soot can collect on nearby walls, ceiling corners, and air vents, something air quality experts say mimics the particulate effects of burning low-grade fuel. Number 13. Sensational Candles. Sensational candles look fun and modern, but once the flame hits the wax, the experience changes quickly. Their fragrance oils are heavily boosted with aroma extenders, chemical boosters designed to amplify scent strength. When these extenders heat up, they can create an acidic, throat-tightening sharpness that many users notice within minutes. A study on heated fragrance compounds found that specific aromatic enhancers can create sensory irritation pathways, triggering headaches, eye burning, and sinus pressure. Sensational's strongest scents, especially tropical and bakery blends, often rely on these boosters. The candles also struggle with rapid wick carbonization, meaning the wick forms a thick mushroom cap early in the burn. This causes tiny carbon flakes to break off into the air and land on surfaces like tables, counters, and bedding. Over time, these particles accumulate into a fine residue that indoor dust testing often flags for synthetic fragrance byproducts. Customers frequently report a chemical haze that develops halfway through the candle, especially in cooler rooms where the wax burns unevenly. That uneven burn creates small bursts of thermal fragrance distortion, which can drastically change the scent quality and irritate sensitive airways. Number 12. Everspring Scented Candles. Everspring's regular scented candles lean heavily on their nature-inspired branding, but the chemistry tells a different story. These candles often use plant-inspired synthetic molecules, not actual essential oils. When heated, certain plant-mimic compounds like synthetic citrus and herbal notes can undergo oxidative shift, turning harsher and more metallic smelling. Indoor fragrance testing has shown that citrus-mimicking synthetics, once heated, can trigger upper airway nerve reactions, creating a tingling or burning sensation in the nose and throat. Many buyers report this exact feeling when burning Everspring classics like citrus and basil or mint and eucalyptus. The wax blend can also become unstable once it reaches mid-burn. As the wick digs deeper into the jar, the heat becomes concentrated, causing the fragrance layer to separate inside the wax pool. This separation leads to uneven flames and small bursts of heated solvent fumes, which create that chemical edge that many customers complain about. Number 11. Trader Joe's Scented Candles. Trader Joe's paraffin blend candles are loved for their seasonal scents, but their burn chemistry tells a different story. The paraffin mix they use tends to thin rapidly under heat, causing the flame to sit deeper and hotter than intended. Once that happens, the fragrance oils begin to scorch, creating a dry, almost smoky undertone that many people recognize as the candle nears its halfway point. Thermal analysis studies of paraffin blends show that overheated wax can release combustion fragments, tiny airborne bits of wax, and fragrance molecules that irritate the respiratory lining. Trader Joe's tins, especially the smaller ones, trap heat easily, making this scorching effect even stronger. The wicks also have a tendency to curl while burning, shifting the flame to one side. This side flame effect creates uneven heat zones that can trigger fragrance degradation, completely changing the scent character and giving off a bitey, chemical-sharp aroma. Number 10. Goose Creek Candles. Goose Creek is known for bold, room-filling scents, the kind that smell like perfume counters and bakery shops blended. But the intensity comes with a hidden cost. Goose Creek candles use ultra-concentrated aromatic compounds, far more potent than standard fragrance oils. When heated, these compounds can undergo thermal fracturing, meaning the scent molecules break apart into sharper, more irritating fragments. Customers frequently report throat dryness, tight chest, and an intense burning sensation behind the eyes, classic signs that the fragrance load is overpowering the respiratory system. A combustion behavior study found that candles with high fragrance saturation often produce microscopic wax mist when the oils boil inside the wax pool. Goose Creek candles, especially their 3-wick varieties, reach that boiling point quickly because of their high flame output. Another issue, these candles burn exceptionally hot. Many jars develop scorched wax rings where the edges of the wax darken and melt unevenly. Scorched wax doesn't just smell burnt. It produces airborne residue that can cling to surfaces like blinds, lampshades, and pillowcases. Add to that the frequent wick mushrooming, which drops carbon particles into the melted wax and releases tiny irritants into the air. You get a candle that smells luxurious, but leaves your air feeling anything but. Number 9. Village Candle. Village Candle is famous for its 2-wick system, designed to burn cleaner and brighter, but in practice, the double flame often burns hotter than the wax formula can handle. This leads to rapid wax liquefaction and fragrance flooding, a condition where too much fragrance rises at once, overwhelming the air with a chemical-heavy scent burst. In fragrance combustion research, this phenomenon is known to trigger olfactory fatigue, where the nose becomes overstimulated and irritated. Many Village Candle users report intense headaches or sinus pressure after just a short burn, especially with more decadent scents like Brownie Delight or Creamy Vanilla. The 2-wick design also increases the chances of wick imbalance. If one wick burns faster, the flame leans, causing uneven jar heating. Uneven heating can lead to wax separation, where the fragrance and wax layers split inside the pool, releasing an acrid, chemically distorted smell. And because their jars are large, people tend to burn them for long sessions. Long burn time, high heat, more thermal breakdown of fragrance binders, which produces airborne residue that settles on shelves, electronics, and textiles. Pretty jars and romantic glow aside, Village Candle burns with more intensity and more side effects than most people expect. Number 8. Goosey Candle Co. Goosey Candle Co. markets itself as small batch and handmade, but the burn behavior tells a very different story. These candles often use fragrance blends that contain synthetic musk stabilizers, compounds that help heavy scents stay potent in the jar. Once heated, these stabilizers can create a dense, perfumey thickness in the air that clings to the nose and triggers sensory overload. Aromachemical research shows that synthetic musks break down into airborne micro-residues when heated, which can linger for hours on fabrics, carpets, and bedding. This is precisely what many Goosey users complain about, a scent that doesn't disperse naturally but settles into the room like a fog. Another issue is the wick-to-jar ratio. Goosey candles often run with overpowered wicks that melt a deep, oversized pool of wax. A deep melt pool causes the fragrance oils to warm too quickly, creating a sharp, burnt perfume edge that signals fragrance strain when scent compounds start to deform under high heat. Number 7. Pier 1 candles. Pier 1 candles are known for bold, exotic-style fragrances, but those complex scents often rely on layered aromatic compounds that don't burn evenly. When you ignite one, the top notes hit the air first, but the deeper notes lag, causing a strange scent stacking effect. This mismatch can overwhelm the nose, creating a cloying heaviness that many people describe as perfume pressure. Combustion testing on multi-layered fragrances shows they frequently produce aromatic residue particles, tiny clusters of scent molecules that detach from the wax during burn. Pier 1's thick candles, especially the decorative ones, burn long and hot, increasing the release of these particles. The wax also tends to form crusty rims as it melts, a sign that fragrance additives are reacting to high heat. When these rims crack or collapse into the melt pool, they distort the flame and release faint, harsh odors, often described as plastic sweet or metallic floral. Number 6. Room Essentials. Room Essentials candles appeal to minimalists, with simple labels, clean jars, and affordable scents. But behind that simplicity is one of the most inconsistent burn profiles in the budget candle category. These candles often use a wax blend that contains cheap scent carriers, ingredients that help fragrance spread evenly through the wax. But once heated, these carriers can produce a dry, chalky-smelling vapor, especially in warm or humid rooms. Indoor combustion reports show that chalky fragrance vapor is usually linked to carrier compound dehydration, where parts of the fragrance system evaporate too quickly. Room Essentials candles also have a reputation for shallow melt pools, which force the wick to work harder and burn hotter. A hard-working wick creates more wick debris, which breaks into tiny dust-like particles and settles on nearby surfaces. And, because the jars are thin and wide, heat pockets form around the edges, causing localized wax scorching. Scorched wax releases a bitter-smelling haze that can irritate the throat even when the candle looks like it's burning normally. Number 5. Celebrate candles. Celebrate candles show up every holiday with bright colors, glittery jars, cute labels, and those strong seasonal scents that pull people in instantly. But these candles are built for visual appeal and scent strength, not safe combustion. Their wax often contains heavy dye loads and shimmer additives that break down unevenly under flame. When these dyes heat up, they can create a soft chemical bitterness that hangs in the air long after the candle is blown out. Combustion behavior analysis shows that candles with high pigment concentration produce dusty microfragments and specks of burned dye that drift out of the melt pool. Celebrate candles are notorious for this. Users often report finding reddish, gold, or dark specks around the jar rim and nearby surfaces after burning. Many seasonal scents also rely on synthetic spice enhancers, the kind that mimics cinnamon, clove, and pumpkin notes. Under heat, these enhancers can turn sharp, creating a prickling sensation in the nose and upper throat. This reaction is called spice compound flare, a common issue with heavily spiced candles. Some jars also develop uneven heat pockets, causing the wax to slump or crack on one side, a sign that the formula isn't stable under extended burns. When the wax destabilizes, the scent oils can release in sudden bursts, overwhelming the air with a dense, sugary chemical blast. Number 4. Red Leaf Home Candles. Red Leaf Home Candles look like high-end boutique products. Thick frosted jars, elegant neutral colors, and natural-inspired scent names. But the formula inside leans heavily on aromatic fixatives, compounds used to hold the scent together and prolong fragrance life. Once heated, these fixatives can produce a slightly waxy vapor that irritates sensitive noses and throats. A burn pattern analysis of mid-range candles found that fixative-heavy formulas often cause fragrance pooling, where pockets of scent oil rise to the surface before thoroughly blending into the melt pool. Red leaf home candles frequently show this behavior, especially with creamy or woody scents. When those pockets burst, they create a sudden fragrance surge that feels harsh and chemically dense. The wicks also tend to curl inward during longer burns, dragging the flame closer to the wax and creating hot zones. Hot zones accelerate wax thinning and can lead to a faint heated plastic note, especially in candles that use blended fragrance carriers. Users also report that the candles leave a subtle, greasy residue in the air, which settles on nearby surfaces like a thin film. Airborne residue testing has shown that this type of film often comes from degraded fragrance stabilizer materials that break apart when burned for long sessions. Number 3. Indigo Wild Zum Candles. Zum markets itself as earthy and natural, but the regular scented candle line blends essential oils with a wax base that doesn't always burn clean. Essential oils sound harmless, yet many of them contain reactive terpenoid compounds that change structure when exposed to high heat. When this happens, the candle releases a stingy, herbal sharpness that can irritate the back of the throat. Aromatherapy burn studies show that heated terpenes can create sensory overstimulation, causing dizziness and sinus tightness in small rooms. Zum's heavier scents like frankincense, patchouli, and cedar are especially prone to this because they contain dense aromatic molecules that distort easily under flame. Another problem is the wick behavior. Zum candles often burn with a flickering, unpredictable flame, which means the wax pool warms unevenly. Uneven heat can force essential oil concentrates to rise to the surface too quickly, causing tiny scent bursts that feel jarring and chemically unbalanced. Some users also report a faint, oily film left behind on windows or smooth surfaces. Surface testing on scented natural oil candles suggests this film comes from partially combusted plant oil droplets, microscopic residues that drift and settle as the candle burns. Number 2. Colonial Candle. Colonial Candle is one of the oldest candle brands in the US, known for tall, elegant jars and soft, classic scents. But their burn profile reveals a long-standing issue. These candles rely on fragrance anchor compounds that hold scent molecules in place during production. Once heated, these anchors can create a dense, perfumed heaviness that sits low in the room and lingers long after extinguishing. Combustion analysis of traditional paraffin-style candles shows that anchor compounds often break into acceptable scent debris, microscopic aromatic fragments that irritate the nose and upper airways. Colonial Candle's signature fragrances, especially florals and rose-based blends, are prone to this breakdown, producing a dry, powdery edge in the air. Their tall jars also create a vertical heat tunnel where hot air circulates upward at high speed, pushing partially combusted fragrance molecules out into the room. This effect amplifies the scent intensity, but also increases the presence of burn-distorted aromatics, which many users describe as a stuffy perfume cloud. Wicks tend to lean or warp inside the tall jars, dragging the flame toward one side. This causes uneven jar heating, which can scorch the wax along the walls and produce a subtle heated lipstick smell, a sign of fragrance wax bonding agents breaking down. Number 1. Root Candle. Root is known for its beeswax candles, but the paraffin core line tells a very different story, one that most shoppers never realize. These candles use a layered structure, a beeswax outer shell wrapped around a paraffin-based inner core. The problem? Paraffin and beeswax don't heat at the same rate. When the inner paraffin warms faster than the outer shell, the candle experiences thermal imbalance, creating unpredictable burn zones. This imbalance causes specific fragrance components, predominantly woody, smoky, and resin-based notes, to undergo thermal warping, a transformation where scent compounds heat unevenly, producing a dry, throat-catching harshness. Sensory research on multi-wax candles shows that this mismatch is a major contributor to upper airway irritation during long burns. The wicks in Root's paraffin core line are tightly braided for stability, but in practice, they often burn too stiffly, pulling the flame upward and creating a hotter combustion point than the blend was designed for. A hotter combustion point leads to micro-residue drift, tiny airborne flecks of partially processed wax and fragrance materials that float through the room and settle on smooth surfaces like glass and counters. And while the outer beeswax layer looks elegant, Once the flame burns deep enough, it funnels heat upward and creates a narrow, intense column of hot air. This chimney effect pushes unrefined fragrance remnants into the air, the kind that leave a faint scratchiness in the throat or a dry tickle in the sinuses. But don't worry, it's not all bad news. Not every candle is stuffed with toxic wax, artificial dyes, and heavy synthetic fragrances. Some brands actually burn clean, safe, and surprisingly natural, like number 10, Soy Grown Candle Co. Soy Grown Candle Co. takes a different approach to candle making. Instead of chasing overpowering fragrances, they focus on temperature-balanced wax that burns at a calm, steady pace. This slow, cool flame keeps the wax from scorching, which is one of the biggest reasons their candles feel so comfortable to breathe around. Their formulas rely on regionally sourced soy, which undergoes a multi-step filtration process before it's poured. That filtration removes impurities that can cause smoky edges or uneven flames, giving these candles an apparent, crisp burn profile. What stands out most is how their scents behave. Instead of rushing into the room, they unfold gradually, almost like steeped tea. This makes them perfect for small spaces, bedrooms, or allergy-sensitive homes where overpowering fragrances aren't welcome. Even their wick design is thoughtful. Lightweight, flexible fibers woven to prevent stiff carbon buildup. No flare-ups, no sooty halo, just a stable flame that respects the room it's in. Number 9. PF Candle Co. PF Candle Co. creates candles that feel more like atmosphere pieces than scented products. Their wax blend is formulated to stay firm at the edges while melting cleanly in the center, a structure that keeps the flame controlled and minimizes residue. Their fragrance philosophy is different too. Instead of heavy synthetic blends, they rely on aroma structures built from low irritation compounds, the kind used in aromatherapy studios and boutique spas. These ingredients disperse evenly into the air, creating presence without pressure. What makes them exceptionally safe is their combustion discipline. Every candle formula is test burned multiple times to ensure the flame never climbs into the heat spike range that leads to smoky burn reactions. This is why their jars stay clean, their air stays clear, and the scent never turns sharp. The result is a candle that feels curated rather than chaotic, gentle light, measured fragrance, and a burn that respects your lungs as much as your space. Number 8. Brooklyn Candle Studio. Brooklyn Candle Studio builds its candles around the idea of air neutrality, meaning their fragrances are designed to enhance the atmosphere without changing the character of the room. Instead of powerful top notes, they use soft layered botanical essences that remain stable even when warmed. Their wax is crafted for low flame thermal stability, so the surface melts smoothly without reaching the heat levels that create chemical distortion. This stability gives these candles their signature, a burn that feels serene, balanced, and predictable from the first hour to the last inch of wax. They also use precision woven wicks designed to maintain a straight burn path so the flame never leans, flickers aggressively, or overheats one side of the jar, a common issue with many mass-market candles. The result is a candle with near zero residue drift and a glow that feels soft instead of intrusive. Number 7. Homesick Clean Line. Homesick's Clean Line focuses on something most candle brands overlook: environmental scent harmony. Instead of overpowering a room, these candles are formulated to blend into the atmosphere as if they were part of the room's natural air cycle. The wax is crafted with a low-density plant blend, explicitly designed to prevent heavy aromatic buildup. This allows the flame to glow softly while keeping the air feeling light and breathable, an advantage for homes where fragrances often feel too thick. The real secret lies in their precision-calibrated aroma ratios. Each candle uses fragrance structures that are intentionally balanced to avoid sharp edges or intensity spikes. This makes their scents unusually stable, meaning they don't sour, distort, or develop a harsh base note as the candle burns deeper. Their wicks are engineered to maintain a consistent burn height, eliminating the sudden flame jumps that can lead to smoky reactions. The result is a candle that warms the room rather than engulfing it, calm, even, and dependable from top to bottom. Number 6. Pure Integrity Candles. Pure Integrity lives up to its name by focusing on ingredient cleanliness and structural burn purity rather than scent intensity. Their wax blend undergoes a special cooling process that creates an ultra-smooth surface texture, allowing the candle to melt evenly without forming hot spots or wax hollows. What makes these candles stand out is their use of aromatics derived from high-purity distillations. These fragrance materials are filtered to remove irritant-heavy components, leaving a scent that feels rounded and naturally breathable. Instead of hitting the air in forceful waves, the fragrance releases in soft, consistent layers. Their wicks are designed for micro-flame stability, meaning the flame maintains a narrow, controlled profile that minimizes airborne residue. This gives pure integrity candles a signature clarity. No smoky halo around the flame, no drifting particles, just a steady, low-stress burn. People who are sensitive to strong scents often prefer these candles because they create a quiet aromatic presence, offering comfort without crowding the senses. Number 5. Blue Corn Beeswax. Blue Corn Beeswax candles feel different the moment you light them, and that's because beeswax has a naturally stable combustion profile. Instead of melting quickly or pooling unevenly, the wax softens slowly, creating a flame that stays centered and relaxed. What sets blue corn apart is the purity of its materials. The beeswax they use is minimally processed, retaining tiny traces of natural plant resins collected by bees. When warmed, these resins release a subtle, honey-like aroma that doesn't rely on added fragrances. This makes blue corn an ideal choice for families, small rooms, and fragrance-sensitive homes. The wick system is built for slow glow illumination, producing a gentle golden light rather than a bright, hot flame. This reduces heat spikes and prevents the jar from overheating, a key factor in maintaining clean indoor air. These candles don't fight for attention. They create a soft, natural atmosphere that feels grounded, warm, and effortlessly safe. Number 4. Keep candles. Keep approaches candle making like a science of calm. Their wax blend is formulated using renewable, low-soot botanical oils that hold a steady melt rate, ensuring the flame never burns hotter than the formula can handle. This gives Keep its signature, an even-tempered burn from the first hour to the final inch. Their fragrances are designed using sensory-balancing aromatic structures, scent compositions intentionally crafted to avoid overwhelming the nose. Instead of heavy top notes, they focus on rounded, atmospheric profiles that feel more like ambient mood lighting than perfume. Keep's wick system is also unique. Each wick undergoes a thermal calibration test, ensuring it bends, burns, and glows at the same rate as the wax around it. This prevents tunneling, flare-ups, and residue drift. Their candles feel modern, warm, and emotionally balanced, with a clean burn engineered for people who want scent without stress. Number 3. Miss Meyer's Clean Day Soy Candles. Mrs. Meyer's soy candles are built around garden-inspired aromatics, but the secret behind their clean performance is their balanced wax density. The wax is firm enough to maintain structure, but soft enough to melt smoothly, preventing the sudden heat surges that cause smoky edges in lower-quality candles. Their scents are created using botanical-style fragrance compositions, meaning they lean on lighter aromatic molecules that remain stable in warm environments. These molecules disperse gradually, maintaining clarity without overwhelming the room. The wick design emphasizes flame regulation, thin enough to maintain a gentle burn, yet strong enough to keep the flame steady even in drafty spaces. This consistency ensures the candle burns cleanly and avoids carbon buildup. Miss Meyer's candles feel like a simple, safe, everyday choice. Fresh, approachable, and designed for homes where clean air matters as much as pleasing fragrance. Number 2. Malin plus Goetz candles. Malin plus Goetz candles stand out because they're built on aroma architecture, not generic fragrance blends. Each candle is designed around a single scent note like cannabis, vetiver, or dark rum, which allows the formula to stay remarkably stable under heat. This simplicity reduces the risk of fragrance distortion, one of the leading causes of harsh or irritating burn behavior in complex candles. Their wax blend is engineered for smooth thermal flow, meaning the surface liquefies evenly without forming overheated pockets. This stability keeps the flame calm and prevents the wax from reaching temperatures where fragrance compounds begin to break apart. The most impressive part is their wick system. Malin plus Goetz uses precision-gauged wicks that are matched to each scent's melt profile, a more advanced approach than what most luxury brands use. This ensures the flame stays low, steady, and contained, minimizing any airborne residue. The result is a candle that feels modern, intentional, and genuinely clean. A quiet flame that fills the room with character, not chemicals. Number 1. Lulu Candles. Lulu's Clean Soy line represents everything a safe candle should be: cool burning, ingredient transparent, and scent balanced. Their soy wax undergoes a purification process that removes leftover fibers and plant particulates, creating a wax that melts into a smooth, glassy pool without producing cloudiness or surface scorching. The fragrance in Lulu's Clean line is crafted with low reactivity aroma compounds, explicitly chosen for their ability to stay consistent at warm temperatures. This means the scent stays true from first burn to the last. No souring, no chemical twist, no shift toward heaviness. Their wicks are made from tightly braided fibers designed for thermal moderation, allowing the flame to self-regulate as the candle burns. This prevents flare-ups, carbon flakes, and the kind of uneven burning that can leave residue behind. What makes Lulu exceptionally safe is how light the scent feels, not watered down, but blended to complement the space instead of dominating it. It's the kind of candle you can use daily, without feeling overwhelmed or fatigued by fragrance.